asked by a viewer if I was going to do a video about the solar eclipse that happened today, depending on where you're at. And I saw this comment, and it was about 10 minutes before totality. I'm here in Texas, so I decided to go outside to my backyard and lay on the grass and watch. So this reading is coming to you about 10 minutes after totality. So let's see what this eclipse is bringing forth for the collective. This is a general message. It's not for a specific zodiac sign. If you resonate with it, then great. If not, that's okay also. If you are meant to see this video, this message, then you are meant to see it. All right, so let's see what's coming through. What is this eclipse energy bringing to us? This eclipse happened in the sign of Aries. As you know, the north node is in the sign of Aries. The south node is in the sign of Libra. Some of my older videos, when I would speak about the astrology, I mentioned how as a collective and even on an individual basis, we are going toward more individual pursuits, things that we want to accomplish on our own, because this north node is in Aries. The north and south node of the moon have a lot to do with the eclipse. When the moon is transiting through the signs that the north node is in, and it's coming into contact with the sun, whether it's in conjunction or opposition, it creates this effect, this eclipse effect. There's more to it than that, but I am not an astronomer, so but that's the gist of it. All right, so the north node is in Aries, the sun is in Aries, the moon is also transiting through Aries, and so you have this eclipse effect. So that's why, you know, the energy of Aries is prominent at this time, just because it's emphasizing what the north node and the south node want to bring forth, the message, the energy, the frequency that they are bringing forth. The nodes stay in a sign every year and a half. They move every year, 1 year and a half, right, from sign to sign. So right now we are in the energy of going toward the Aries, individual, personal, solo energy, and going away from the Libra energy, which is partnership, relationship, that dual and polarity type of energy, right? So solo pursuits, individual pursuits, things that we want to accomplish on our own for ourselves without the either obligation of another person, responsibility for another person, input from another person. A lot of people are experiencing relationship shifts at this time because of this as well, whether that's in a more romantic way, or even relationships as it relates to codependency. And that could be friendships, sibling relationships, relationships with your job, right? Or people from your job or your social circle, whatever you've been codependent on, whatever you feel that you need to rely on in order to function. So why either you are personally, consciously making these changes, great. Some view the universe is making these changes for you, depending on the transits in your birth chart, you know, the aspects in your birth chart and how that's affecting the transits that are currently happening at this time. If you're interested in astrology and in a personal astrology reading, I do that as well. You can always email me. But the emphasis here is, again, what are you doing for yourself? What is best for you? There's also fresh start, new beginning, something you're venturing into something that you've never experienced before with this Aries energy, because Aries is the first zodiac, right? It represents new beginnings, fresh starts, and it also represents the pioneer, right? Like doing something for the first time, being the first one to do this thing. So that being said, let's start pulling the cards, see what's coming through, and get more specifics, going into more detail here. What's coming through for the collective? What is the message that the solar eclipse is trying to bring forth today at this time in 2024? Personal energy. Queen of Swords. Here is being true to you, being true to what it is that you want. Enough. I'm feeling this so strongly. Enough with the excuses. Enough with like, I can't because of this. I can't because of that. You know, this is never going to happen to me for me because this, and this, right? Like the excuses and also the denial. The denial. You know, I was picking up on this eclipse being a blind spot for us, right? Like not being a blind spot, just bringing to light our blind spots. And a lot of the time, you know, it has to do with things that we are maybe subconsciously aware of, or the things that, you know, we think about when we're alone in bed or something like that. But once we wake up, it's like, okay, we have to, you know, go to work. We have to feed the family or, you know, take care of our obligations, responsibilities. And we ignore the message. We ignore the signs, right, that the universe is trying to bring toward us for us so we can become aware, so we can make changes. It feels like now there's an energy of there's no hiding. Everything is clear. Everything's on the table. The light is shining. You know, the truth is there. It's undeniable. The truth is undeniable. And this truth is the catalyst for this transformative energy. Maybe some of you are already in this transformative energy. Maybe some of you are going to step into it soon. But that once you know, you can't unknow. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee the truth. You can't, you know, you can pretend that you didn't see it. You can ignore it. You can distract yourself and go an opposite way, but it doesn't change the fact that you know the truth, right? Whether that's the truth about yourself, what is holding you back, right? Your behaviors, your patterns, your thought processes, you know, your energy fields, your frequency, your routines, your patterns, whatever it is, there's something that's been holding you back and putting up the wall from facing the truth. Or it could be externally. If this is an external situation, everybody is experiencing this differently. Then you may have recently come into a big moment of awareness as it relates to an external situation that you've been dealing with, or even a person, a relationship that you've been in. Either way, now what are you going to do with the truth? What are you going to do with this clarity, with this awareness? Are you going to run away from it, ignore it, deny, be in denial? Or are you going to face it and heal through it? The only way to heal is to go through it, right? We cannot sugarcoat, we cannot sidestep. You know, you can't go around the thing. You have to go through the thing in order to come out on the other side a healed person. And the death and rebirth card here is saying that exactly. All right. So with the death rebirth process, it's not easy. It's uncomfortable and it's inconvenient. So this is something that you want to prepare for. There's no easy death rebirth here, right? You think of a child being born and going, you know, the mother having birth and the child going through this so-called portal, right? From being inside the mother's womb into the 3D existence, the reality earth, right? How hard must that have been for us to get through? The same concept, right? You're going through a portal, you're going through a canal. It's not fun. It's difficult. It's challenging. You will face parts of yourself that you have been running from, that you have been ignoring, again, those blind spots. And whether you're doing this consciously, purposely, or the universe is coming in to do it, either way, right? For whoever I'm reading for, this is bound to happen. This is your personal energy, so you're going through this now. At the same time, at rock bottom, at the darkest parts of this place is where you find your strength, is where you find your power. And you come out on the other side, not necessarily a brand new person, you may feel like it, but you are the same person with the wisdom that you've gained from the experience that you had. Therefore, it may seem that you're a new person, right? But you're just more wise from at this point. If you have a lot of eighth house placements, Scorpio placements in your chart, you're not unfamiliar with this process. You probably go through this many, many times. Pluto placements as well. So it's a beautiful process. It's going to lead you to something great, the beginning of the next phase, the beginning of the next of what your next purpose is, what your focus should be. I'm hearing it's like you had your focus before, you were on the right path. We're always on the right path. We're always where we are supposed to be. Um you were on this path where you were focused on something that's dying, and as you go through this death rebirth process, you're going to end up on the other side at some point, and it's going to be a new focus. All right. So don't expect, a few months down the line for your life and where your energy goes, where your thoughts go to remain the same as they are today. You will be in another place. Timeline shifting is happening now. Pull some more cards, see what else is coming through. These cards are in your environment at this time, the people, situations, circumstances that you find yourself in. Something else that the Queen of Swords is telling you as you are going through this process is to remain as detached as possible. That's the best way to get through the change that you're going through at this time. You don't want to continue with certain attachments that you have. These attachments are only going to make this transformative process difficult, challenging. It may prolong it even. The process is happening. There's no changing that. But how do you want to get through it? Right? It's going to be challenging and difficult regardless. But if you want to take those attachments with you through it, it's just going to create scars, or like, how can I'm getting a vision of like ripping, or a knife, like ripping through something. So let's just say you're going through this canal, this portal. If you bring your attachments with you, it's like almost cutting or ripping through it. I don't know how to explain it. Instead of it just being a smooth process through, not to say it's going to be easy, because all death rebirth isn't, but for some reason I'm getting this image of scarring, of scratches, of tearing, so like sharpness, if that makes sense. um I don't know what that means for whoever that's for, but you don't want to take these attachments with you. It's going to that's not the point. I'm also feeling like for somebody needs to hear that, like, that's not the point. The point is for you. The point is to clear this energy out, not to bring it with you. I don't know. Identify what your attachments are. All right. What, like, the negative attachments that we all know, you know, it- we all know what it is that is not healthy. It's not helpful. It's not the best fit for, the life that we're trying to live, the person we're trying to be. Um, you no longer are blinded to that. You can see those things now. Remain as detached as possible as you are going through this. Try your best to not take it personal. Try your best to not be so sensitive about it as well. The further away you are from the emotion or the attachment, right? Like what is this feeling? I guess like the codependency of something. The further away you can get from that, the better as you are going through this. Try not to take it personal. Try not to take it to the heart. Like, just accept the moment. It is what it is. This moment is meant to be this way, and that's it. Know why. Like, why is it happening to me? Why is this, why now? Or why did this person do that? Why did I do that? Like, who cares? Who cares? It is what it is. If you've been going through a situation where, whatever it is that you're leaving behind and you've spent years in that situation, it's very common, right? Like, we're leaving an old life behind to go and move forward into our new lives, however that looks. It may hurt, right? You may have the inclination to want to grieve and, be sad and down on yourself and pity yourself and, all of those things. The suggestion here, the advice here is just to accept it. It's not your fault. There should be no guilt. There should be no shame. There should be no regret. All of those things are not real. Those are constructs that we create by our thought process and our belief systems. They're not reality. You are not those things. You are a energy form in a human body, experiencing Earth life, basically. Okay, so there's no reason to be so attached to this. It's just part of life. There's so much change here while we are living in this lifetime that it's part of it, right? Like, accept it is what I'm trying to say. And don't be attached to the emotion of it, if that makes sense. You have the 5 of Wands, the 3 of Cups. People, other people. People not on the same page. A lot of fights, a lot of arguments, disagreements. A lot of you are experiencing this in a form of relationship with the Lovers here. This is very like, it's giving me the, how can I say, the feeling that this is the problem here. This is the reason for all of it. All right. It's just whoever you're involved with, the situation, it deals with a lot of people who have different points of view, different agendas, different wants, different needs. Higher thinking than that, these people are all on different journeys. You were supposed to meet, you were supposed to come together at the time that you did. But there's change involved now. Okay? It's like that saying where people come in for a reason and a season or something like that. Like not everybody is meant to be in our lives forever and ever and ever, I mean, we're not even like, we're not even meant to be here forever, like, what makes you think that we're supposed to be in the same job forever, living in the same home forever, with the same person forever? Like, these things change. And yes, some people do. Beautiful. That's their journey. That's their contract that they had coming into this earthly plane at the time that they did. That doesn't mean that it's yours, right? So accept that as well. Be open to what belongs to you. Going back to that Aries energy, this whole eclipse, this North Node, pushing us toward our individualism, who we are on a personal level, what we stand for, what we want, our own personal journey. If you are comparing yourself to other people in society and what society thinks should be the thing, you are doing yourself a disservice, because you're closing yourself in a box. Like, you're thinking inside the box. If you're following society, as big as society is, the concept of society, it's still literally inside a box, right? Because there's societal expectations that we have. or that they have on us. And so, this is just a feeling of do your own thing. What is right for you and only you? Who cares about everything else? Who cares about what other people say? Who cares about what other people want? Who cares about what you feel you are expected to do? What do you want for you? You know what that is. If you connect to yourself and develop a close bond relationship to you, right? So there's a lot of people that now it's like the image I'm getting, it's like a group of people or two people, whatever it is, you guys have been on this path together for whatever reason to learn, right? That's why we come in contact with other people, because it's a lesson. We learn about ourselves through another person, right? So you've been on this journey with these people up until now, and now it's like the paths fork, and everybody is going a different path. And that is how it's supposed to be, and that is okay. You're going toward your people, the group, the associations, the energy, the frequency of other people here with the Three of Cups that you are supposed to be a part of now. It's like the concept of you have friends in high school that you grew up with and you've been friends with them for so long, and then everybody graduates and goes their own way, right? And then you go on, you're on to the next path, and then you create bonds and friendships with new people. Okay? That's the example. That's how I can compare it. It's like that. For some of you, this does have to do with a partnership, a relationship. You're going toward a bond that is right for you and that is on the path and the frequency that you are going toward or that you are already on at this time. For some of you, you will meet this person through acquaintances, through friends, through siblings, through cousins, through extended family, through your social circle. But there's a reason to celebrate here. There is a feeling of companionship and feeling like you are accepted, you are a part of something bigger, and a feeling of, okay, this is where I belong. Some of you are finding home soon, or if not now, like you're finding that feeling of home, like, okay, now I feel like I belong here, whereas wherever you were coming from, you felt you didn't belong there anymore. The only way that we can go back toward this whole partnership frequency that the South Node is in right now, because the South Node is in Libra, is through the North Node, right? So there's this polarity here. Just because they're opposite energy, Aries and Libra, the North Node and the South Node, it doesn't mean that they're not supposed to be, I'm feeling like a magnet toward one another, right? Like, obviously they are. But the only way to have a healthy South Node Libra frequency of relationship and partnership is through the North Node, which is knowing what you want for yourself, what is right for you, right, as an individual. Some people at this time are going to make a decision and say, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, or I don't want to be in a relationship anymore, right? Like, I need to work on myself. I need to do something for myself. And you may feel that whatever pursuit or goal that you have, right, at this time is not conducive for a relationship, or, like, you can't be in a relationship because it may impact another person. It may inconvenience another person because your goal or your pursuit is too personal, and that's okay. Some of you at this time are telling yourself like, okay, I know what I want now, right? Like, I have experienced letdown, or, you know, how can I say, like, relationships that have made you change and change your belief system on what it is that you want out of love, out of another person, out of a situation. So identifying with your own personal wants and needs, you're able now to really effectively, consciously attract, like, the other person or the situation, the external thing that you are in alignment with at this time. So it's just putting this clarity around that now. Like, okay, now I can stand firm on what it is that I want to go after. And if that is a relationship, some of you who have been doing that work already might be ready for it at this time. Let's see what else is coming through. Get more detail around this eclipse. I think I have time to pull one card for each sign and just to give you a little bit more insight. But let's get through this part of the spread first. I hope this is like you're relating to this in some way. Hope this is helping someone out there. If it is, click the like button. I would appreciate it. This is an abnormal type of reading. It's not the typical type of readings that I do. It's usually just geared toward the signs, but this is a one-off type of thing. So, but I'm excited to do this. You got the High Priestess, oh my gosh, and the Justice card with the Sun representing this eclipse here. Here's that Aries energy of the Fool coming through. Oh, goodness. I'm going to bring that out. And you have the clarity that I was saying with the Queen of Swords. And here's the Lover's card again. So much validation here around this message. You know. You felt it. You have felt this change coming. Some of you have been creating a relationship with your higher self, a relationship with your spiritual side. If you haven't, it's a great idea to do that, to start that type of ritual. I'm hearing ritual, or I'm feeling ritual, actually. Maybe some of you have done a ritual today for this eclipse. If you haven't, this is your sign from the universe that it's a good idea to do so. If you've never done a ritual, all you have to do is get a white candle and light it and pray over it. That's a start. But stay quiet. No words. Don't speak. Less is best. Every move you make, before you make a move, connect with yourself and make sure it's the right move. Every time, before you say something to someone, connect with yourself and make sure it's the right thing to say, and whether you should say something at all. The universe is taking care of something for you at this time. Justice is coming in to balance the scales. This is the Libra energy. This is the Aries energy. And the Sun is in the middle with this eclipse. How spot on is that? Right? The High Priestess signifying the higher realms, the other side of the veil, spirituality, our higher self, which essentially is a universe and source, right? This is inevitable. This is a moment in time in your life where pivotal changes is happening. Whether you see them now playing out literally, physically in your life, or it could be a change, an oh my God, I can never say this word, okay, forget it. I'm not going to say the word, but it could be a change within, right? Within yourself. a belief system, something that, your like your sense of like morality, right? Like what you stand for, what you know is right or wrong, what you've always believed in, your thought process, something is changing. There's a pivotal moment here. And for some of you, if you're not seeing this in the physical realm and it is happening internally, the internal will start to push the external to reflect itself, right? So the as above, so below, as within, so without, right? Like there's always justice, karma, alignment, balance. So if you are changing internally, your external field will start to match it. So if you're not seeing these changes physically at this time, just be patient, continue working on yourself and that relationship that you have with yourself, that faith and trust in the universe that it is putting things in its place. Um, and you'll start to see these changes create themselves, manifested themselves physically as the months go on. Um, but this is saying just let go. Justice here, especially next to the high priestess, I'm feeling this let go. Okay. Accept, thank the universe for the opportunity, even if it was shitty. It helped you learn something about yourself, as all situations do. And you don't know this yet. This is very strong channeling as well. You don't know this yet, but everything that you went through until now and all of the wisdom and experience that you've gained until now will be of use to you where you are going. The experience and the wisdom, not the situation. But if some of you are thinking like, why did I have to go through that? That's why. You had to learn something about yourself, about the world in some way for you to ascend as a spiritual being, and wherever you are going on the next phase, the next chapter of your life, you somehow, some way, you're going to need this wisdom. Accept it, let it go. It's okay. No guilt, no shame, no fault. All right? No regret. No guilt, no shame, no fault, no regret. No guilt, no shame, no fault, no regret. Just accept. Blessings are coming with a new opportunity here. As these new opportunities come through, say yes. What else? If you feel like, ooh, something's too risky, that's an indicator that that's one of those opportunities that this is bringing. The eclipse is bringing. If you feel like this, like how can I say? This never happens. This never comes up, Like, when do you get an opportunity like this? That's an indicator. Something surprising happens. Something you've been waiting for. For some of you, this has to do with the job. The 8 of Cups came out reversed here. For some of you, this change has to do with something that you wanted a long time ago. You were going down a certain path a long time ago, and you were presented with another, like one of those fork in the roads, and you chose something else. This thing is coming back around. It doesn't feel like you were ever able to really dive into it, really live it. It was more of a idea or a wish, or like this, like when we say someday I'm going to do this, or something like that. And this happens a lot. We grow up as children, we're innocent before we go through experiences, right, that change us. And it's like, oh, this is like the purity of our soul, the purity of our being. That's when it was the most authentic. And then we change, or we think we change, because we grow up and we experience tragedy, we experience letdown, we experience success, we experience triumph, and accomplishments, like all of it, right? Like, but everything shapes us in a different way, and we mold ourselves into the adults that we become. And we suppress our inner child. So this is telling me that something happens where whatever it is that you're leaving behind is opening some doors, opening some portals to that place. There's something about your child, about your the most purest form of you, that it's like, this is because it is its purest form of who you are. It's part of your journey here. It's like what you're meant to do. Okay? This is like that saying of, if it's your passion, then that's what you should do as a living, right? Because that's what you were born to do. Whatever your passion is, it has that feeling to it. But for whatever reason, because we grow up, because we get jobs, we have responsibilities, we, have children, get married, whatever the case is, we have to put that to the back burner. This may be coming around for you at this time. But yeah, there's something that is inspiring. I'm hearing the word inspiring. Something is inspiring you right now. To take control of your life with the Emperor. It's like this opportunity, this new thing, this new phase that you're jumping into with the Fool here. There's risk to it as well. So, if any of you are brave enough to take the plunge, you're going to be surprised as to what else it's like, what else this path is going to uncover, like what you're going to uncover down this path. This path is also going to lead you toward this thing that I've been talking about, that you once wanted in your past. Three of Swords, Judgment, Seven of Wands. Nope, I thought it was here. And the Chariot. Of course, it is natural to grieve and feel sad. You may become aware of, like, people in your environment and the life that they're living, how they're going, like how they're dealing with something, and it may hurt you, but you just have to keep going. Again, detach from the emotion, detach from the sensitivity. I'm not saying to be a cold-hearted person for the rest of your lifetime. And I'm not even saying to do that now, but there's time and place for this. And I know a lot of people that I've come into contact when we have these conversations don't necessarily agree with that concept. But when you need to get something done for yourself, and you're going through a huge moment in life, a big transition, these people in your surroundings, if they're not your children, right, or your partner, no matter how much you love them and how much they love you, and how used to them you are, or them being used to you being in their life or whatever, you just have to put a pause on that for a bit, because they're not going to fix the situation for you, right? They're not going to say, here is everything you need. You don't have to go through anything to get it, right? As you're going through this death rebirth process. No one's going to come and do that. You're going through this on your own, for yourself, right? You need to just put these people on the side for a little bit. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. Doesn't mean you're always going to be that like that, right? You're always going to push them away. You could even have a direct conversation with them and let them know. But for right now, detach. So you can get through this in a more conscious, present. You need to be present for this situation, for this process as well. And get through it as the best that you can, right? As efficient as you can, you know, make the right decisions and the right choices as you're going through this process. So you can get on the other side already, right? And I'm not saying to rush it either. Of course, don't do that. But there could be sadness. Somebody may be expressing to you that they are sad that you are going, maybe you're going down this other path and they're staying behind, or you may hear of another person or people who are feeling and going through a hard time. Maybe you feel like you're not going through that much of a hard time, so there's some sadness around that as well. But I mean, what can you say? Again, everyone is on their own journey. You're not here, you weren't born to handhold somebody through their journey. You were born to go through your own journey, right? Um, but there's some breakthrough that happens here. At some point, you may experience obstacles. This process may get a little difficult. That's how you know you're in the thick of it. Okay? That's your indicator that shit, like, okay, one thing after another is starting to happen. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you feel depressed and you have some anxiety. You can't sleep. You're crying a lot. Fear, right? There's a lot of fear that may come through because you don't know what's going to happen. Your mind is trained to be in survival mode. So it's trained to think the worst. So your body can expect it. But you just have to be as conscious and present as you can through this process. When you are in that energy, that's how you know that you're in the middle of the death rebirth, that you're in the dark, that you're in that moment of totality, darkness that this eclipse has represented. And you are going, after that, you will see the light again, just the way the eclipse is represented. Does that make sense? Then it'll be clear. The new path will be clear here with the Chariot, the card of the most aligned path, right? Beautiful, beautiful energy. It's not easy, but as someone who considers themselves to have mastered the experience of death rebirth, because I've gone through a shitload of them in my life. I am Pluto ruled. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. I mean, geez, both Mars and Pluto ruled. But yeah, I mean, it's like, you're in it, and it's inevitable. I will tell you that from experience. It's inevitable that everything always works out. When you are in this process and it feels like you're dying and you're never going to get out of it, and it's the worst of the worst, and there's no win-win, you cannot see the light, you cannot see how this is going to work out, I promise you it will, because it always does. All right? This is part of the process. This is where you learn control, where you learn your power, where you learn your strength, where you learn what you're made of, where you heal the trauma. Anyway, what am I doing now? I think that's it for this type of reading. I can go in and do one card pull for each sign just to get, I don't know, a little additional message from the universe for everyone. So it could be your sun sign. If you have any stelliums or like prominent energy in a specific sign or a specific house, also listen for that. Anytime you're listening to these types of readings, you listen for that. And also listen for your rising sign. It's probably Um, Especially when you're listening to astrology stuff, the most important sign to listen for is your rising sign. If you don't know any of that, reach out. We can have a conversation. I can help you through it. All right. Let's go with Scorpio. What is the universe saying for the Scorpio here? You're overcoming something. You've been through a hard phase, something very, very challenging recently. Something that had you up at night, something that you felt anxious about. You're overcoming your depression. You're overcoming your anxiety here. Knight of Swords for the Scorpio. This is telling me that you need to communicate something that you've been holding in. You need to release some of these obsessive, compulsive anger thoughts that you've had. It feels like you want to put someone in their place. It feels like you want to express. There's a lot of buildup within you. And I think it's a good idea, if you can, to express this to the person. If you can't, write it down, break something, yell, cry, but get it out. This eclipse wants you to get it out, and I don't think that you have a choice. Somehow it will come out. And I also feel that there's truth happening here. A lot of truth happening through a little bit more aggressive, assertive communication. Gemini. Actually, let's do this. Gemini, what is coming through for the Gemini? Gemini is going through a letdown now. A letdown. It's like, damn. Like, I don't know, I just feel that. And I mean, I think I just did the Gemini reading. So listen to that. Look, you got the King of Swords as well. I mean, Knight of Swords as well. And the Strength card. This is just saying to get the what is this? Sorry, I'm getting a call coming through. Can I say this on camera? Like, in other words, and no offense to anybody, but like, get the balls to say what you have to say. Put your foot down. It feels like you also need to communicate something, but you haven't had the strength to do it. Okay, like the courage to do it, something like that. I don't know if you're like sugarcoating the conversation or not going like, I don't know, like there's something is requiring you to be really precise, direct, even piercing in your communication to someone. Okay. Whereas the Scorpio had this card, but it was building up for them. With you, it's more so, don't be so nice about it. Have the strength and the courage to say the thing that you need to say, and then let itself play out from there. Get it out. Don't worry about the aftermath. All right, this has to be said. Okay, the eclipse energy here is saying it has to be said. It has to be done. And have the energy, the strength, the courage to do the thing. All right, the Leo. See what is coming through. What is the eclipse wanting the Leo to know? Leo. Something about you being on the right path. It's putting you on the path of power. Beautiful. Got the Emperor. So this is making me feel that this energy is wanting you to just be power, like stand in your power, sit in your power, like know your place, know that you are royalty, know that you are worth it, know that you can, like, how can I say, exude your authority no matter where you go. Like, you can do this. Like, this is giving you permission. Maybe some of you didn't feel like you had the permission to be of authority in some way. But the eclipse here is saying you have everything you need. Like you are authority, right? Like this is your place. This is what, how can I say, like what you need to express at this time. Putting your foot down. There's also a sense of strategy here, like strategizing your goals, your plan. But at the end of the day, you have everything you need within yourself. You are so powerful. And as long as you remember that and you come across that way and you feel it, you will see changes. You will be able to manifest the thing that you want to manifest. But sit in your power at all times. Remember who you are. Know who you are. There's no doubting. There's no hesitation. There's no devaluing yourself. You are worth it in every way. Libra. All right, what is the eclipse energy for the Libras? Libra, what is the eclipse bringing through for the Libra, please? King of Wands. Beautiful. So whether you are a masculine or male, feminine, female, this energy is requiring you to burn bright. Burn and like, what is it? Like, what is it? When you're so shiny, like when you're so bright, it burns someone's eyes, right? Like, don't be scared to do that. You are talented, skillful, you are powerful. The King of Wands is charming, charismatic, dynamic, which all the Libras are. If you have strong Libra placements, remember that part of you. That's what you're here to do. There's also a feeling of triggering people by your presence. It's okay. It has nothing to do with you. If you feel like you cannot be yourself because you're scared of what your surroundings or the people in your environment are going to think, that is not your problem. That is theirs, right? At this time, this eclipse is saying, remember who you are, but like shine bright. Sit in the power, in your creative zone, in your fire energy at this time. With the fire energy, that's how we transmute. That's how we bring our ideas to reality. So there's a sense of taking action here again with the King of Wands. King of Wands takes action and knows when to take that action, what action to take. Just become in tuned with that part of you. And I think that you'll be all right. But there's something here about just sitting in this side of you, in this part of you that knows that they are charming, dynamic, powerful, that you have a fiery presence within you. And this is also making me feel like you're pushing people to feel that way as well. Like you're inspiring people. Just by you being you is also going to inspire people. And you're also bringing a level of energy wherever you go. And you're increasing the frequency, in your surrounding, wherever you go. That makes sense. I don't know. But I got hot. Okay, so as I'm reading this and looking at it, I'm getting like flushed, like a hot flash. So I don't know what that means. Maybe there's a lot of sexual energy that comes through with the King of Wands as well. Or you are dealing with the King of Wands who is like that. And that type of person will be coming through in your life at some point. Pisces. Ooh, Pisces, you seem quiet. It feels like you're hesitant, like you don't know if you can do something. Like I'm just hearing like I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know what that means. Have I done your reading? I don't know if I've done your reading. I don't think so. All right, what is coming through for the Pisces during this eclipse? What is the eclipse message for the Pisces, please? Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's just like this overwhelming, like, I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if I can do it. There's a lot that is required of you at this time, Pisces. You may be just one of those people who are feeling the eclipse a little bit more than others as it relates to the difficulty of the change that is required of you at this time. This change involves many different factors, different sides of you to show up as well. I'm feeling um, different parts of your life are showing up. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another type of feeling. But this card also talks about accomplishment and overcoming these obstacles as well. So if you feel like you're in the thick of it, like just overwhelmed, just know that's part of the process and the light will come out eventually. You just have to stay the course. Don't give up. You can like get through this moment in time. It's not going to last forever, but you just have to maintain that consistency and get through it. And whatever you are doing, just another thing is like, don't be reactive. Okay, be proactive. So if you're too busy reacting to things as it relates to like taking action, each one of these wands symbolizes a different responsibility, obligation, like a different thing that's coming at you that you have to overcome. If you are too busy just doing that, then you don't have time to plan a strategy to get out of it. Does that make sense? Because you're too busy just taking care of the things in the moment. There's something here about think about the future a little bit so that way you can be prepared and find solutions here. Okay, so it's like you're just fighting the things off at this time. You're just taking care of the thing. It's like one day at a time, one day at a time. But you need to think about the future so you can find a solution so you can get out of this energy. Capricorn. What is the eclipse energy bringing for the Capricorn, please? Capricorn, Capricorn. Okay, you got a few cards here. Oof. So I'm going to go with this one because it came up by itself. But you also have the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. It just seems like I don't know. Like there's some fantasy going on around a relationship here. Two people. You want clarity. I'm hearing you want to know where you stand. All right. With another person, you want to know where you stand. This because you don't know where you stand with something or with the situation, you cannot make plans. You cannot move forward. You cannot. But you want to like you're fantasizing about it because the Seven of Cups was in there as well, and you're thinking about your options. But there's something holding you back. That Eight of Swords stood out very prominently in that little pile of cards because every other card was great, right? It was beautiful except that eight. So this is telling me that in order to move forward with that, with what it is that you're wanting at this time, you have to get rid of the mentality that you are trapped, that you cannot do something. And the Queen of Pentacles here is saying, because this is the Capricorn card. This is the court card for Capricorn. So it is own your power, right? Like know yourself, know what you can bring to the table. More than anything, know your value. Um, there's something about being receptive and being open to receiving while you are creating. There's something about inspiration, being open to inspiration so you can create and you can build something here. You may also be really focused on domestic duties at this time or taking care and nurturing other people in your life, which is great. But I don't know if this eclipse is going to hit the Capricorn that I am picking up on very harshly at this time because your court card came through for yourself, right? So it's just like you are where you have to be. If you feel limited with that 8 of Swords, it's just a mental setback. It's a perception. It's a belief system. It's not literal. So whatever is holding you back from the thing that you want, there's no literal physical obstacle. It's all in your head, and you need to make the change and change that belief system. And that eclipse is going to help you do that. All right, so we have Aries. What is it for the Aries? So this eclipse was in Aries. So thank you, Aries, for this time. Hopefully it's treating you well. This is playing out for the Aries group that I'm picking up on today. Something about indecision, not knowing what choice to make, feeling torn about a new idea, a new project, a new venture. Maybe this is just highlighting the fact that whatever it is that you are going toward at this time, for all of Aries, Suns, Aries rising, this North Node phase in Aries, and especially this eclipse emphasizing that personal, individual, sovereign type of power. um I don't know if this is just bringing a little bit of doubt and hesitation. Like maybe you've been going toward this thing and you know for sure this is what you want to do, and at this moment in time there's just a little hiccup, and it has you feeling a little inadequate, a little unsure. It has you feeling like you're a newbie in some way. But this is just the start. All right. This is the start of the next phase of something beautiful, of where you are supposed to be in your future. This, whatever it is that you're doing, this little, sorry, it's not little. It's just a page. It makes me think of like a little thing, but it's just the beginning of the thing that will grow into something bigger. Okay, so if you feel like you're in doubt or you have hesitation, it's only because you feel that you're not an expert yet, right? Like you're just starting this thing. Just don't be so hard on yourself. Okay? Enjoy the process. It's not about the destination, it's about the process. And know where you stand at this time because it's brand new. Don't expect to be perfect. But it does feel like you're on the right path. Virgo. Virgo, you may be quiet, cold, distant. Feels like you are trying to be true to yourself about what path you're going to take next. What is the eclipse energy bringing for the Virgos, please? What is the message here for the Virgo? Ooh, shuffling upside down. All right, so you had the King of Cups come through upside down. Oh, okay. So, void of emotion because it came through upside down, right? So, I was saying you're cold, you are distant, you are avoiding your emotions. You're avoiding how you feel. You don't want to come to terms with how you feel. Um, there's some denial here. I don't know if the Virgos I'm picking up on are going to experience this eclipse in the form of the universe like needing to break open your heart at this time, but something may happen from that perspective which will cause you to feel out of whack, out of tune, and uncontrollable. Okay, you're not going to be able to feel like you're in control. I think that that's very important for the Virgo to always feel like they have a control of themselves. But because this King of Cups has come through reversed, it's just you may not. All right, it's like a bubble up of energy, just building and building and building within you, and you need to release it. And this eclipse might allow you to do that. On the other hand, I'm also feeling that some of you are dealing with this type of person, a King of Cups reversed. And so this person is not very open about their feelings at this time for either you or, just the situation may be very difficult to communicate with this person and have them open up. Um, and so this eclipse, because it symbolizes eclipsing something out, it may represent the end to that type of situation. So this person may open up forcefully. The universe will come through where it's going to give them a situation in their life where they will have to do that, if that makes sense. Taurus. Okay. What is coming through for the Taurus, please? The Taurus might be dealing with the Virgo. Let's see. Taurus has the Queen of Cups at the bottom of that deck. The Virgo had the King of Cups. So yeah, there could be for some of you a correlation there. But what is coming through? What is the eclipse energy bringing for the Taurus? Taurus is sleeping. Taurus is asleep. Taurus is going to sleep through this entire process and wake up when it's over. It's like, wake me up when this is done. I don't care. It's rest, rejuvenation, healing. I'm picking up on health stuff for some of you. Maybe you've been going too hard on work or a lot of physical energy lately or mental energy lately, and it's just time for you to put that down. Put it down. It's okay. Everything will sort itself out. I think for the Taurus, the eclipse energy and this change that's happening maybe has to do with more of your spiritual body, and more of like the unseen, unknown aspects of ourselves instead of the physical, outwardly type of change. Or you may have recently gone through it, and now it's time for you to just heal and rest. What else am I getting from this? If like the less you do during this process, the more effective you'll be. If you think that you have to do all of these physical changes in your external life, it's unnecessary. Okay, that's not the point of the message for you during this eclipse. This message is go within, meditate, 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 meditate. Clear your mind. You'll find the changes and the ascension and the transmutation, the transformation happening spiritually, through the spirit, through the like the other dimensions. Like you don't have to be conscious for this. Don't do much. Okay? The more you're doing, the less effective it's going to be. If you meditate, you rest, you clear your mind, you clear your energy, you take it slow, you're really quiet, you'll notice the changing happening within you subconsciously. Sagittarius. All right. What is coming through for the Sagittarius? The solar eclipse. What is the message for the Sagittarius, please? Big changes. The Tower card came through as I'm shuffling here. So did the Magician. Ooh, you got big cards coming through as I'm shuffling. Very powerful. Sagittarius. What is this solar eclipse bringing for the Sagittarius? King of Swords. So this is being in control of your thoughts, right? Being very logical, very realistic, very practical. This message here is don't, what is it? Don't be over enthusiastic. Like, think it through, be slow, be cautious, be smart, work smart. Don't make any rash decisions. This eclipse is emphasizing how much control your mind has on your life. All right. So if you feel like your mind is healthy, you have a healthy mind, you can control your thoughts and where they go. You'll notice the effectiveness of your actions because your thoughts are so clear. So get rid of the junk, get rid of the clutter, the overthinking, things like that. Try your best to clear your mind as best as possible. Stay in control of the thoughts. Maybe some of this transformation is coming through in a form of changing your belief system and your thought process, and doing away with excess in your mind, and just being really clear. Okay. Um, what else am I feeling from this? That's pretty much it. It's very powerful energy. Um, it's also a feeling of like, if I don't think that, how can I say, like, if you are not asked, then you won't tell, right? Like, there's some privacy coming through here as well. Like, you're not going to be really showy. You're not showing off in any way. You're very methodical, and you have a process and a strategy to hit the goal that you want. And as long as you're clear on that and like consistently, then you'll be able to hit that goal. When you are going through this change, this eclipse energy, it's very advisable for you to be as effective as possible as it relates to controlling your thoughts, because that's going to be the game changer for you as well on how you will go down this process, if that makes sense. So it's just making me feel very clean, very clear, very precise, um, and no room for, any bullshit or anything like that, which is great. Cancer. Cancer has a new opportunity coming through, something that they've been wanting for a really long time. They have recently overcome a situation, so they feel accomplished. There's accomplishment here. The eclipse is bringing forth the need to also rest your mind. All right. The change the belief system here around maybe depression, maybe you feeling down on yourself, maybe you're feeling too hard on yourself, maybe you feel that the universe has forgotten you or something like that. But meditate, go into silence, connect with yourself. For the Cancer, this is like, if you've been feeling that something is missing, you need to go within and talk to yourself about that and identify what that is. Through the meditation, through the quietness, you'll discover that missing piece. All right. Whatever that is. So it does feel a little heavy, a little sad. But you're recovering, and this eclipse is probably going to bring in awareness around how you've been feeling, the depression that you've been feeling, if you have been. If you don't consider yourself to be depressed, then there is a missing element, a missing factor, and it's happening through the heart, from an emotional perspective. So whatever that is, that it's just that feeling of like not satisfied, a little irritable, a little like, what's happening, like, you're not um at your full potential. I'm feeling. All right. So somebody here is not that doesn't feel that they are at their full potential, and there's a missing element. Identify what that is by going quiet, staying silent, resting, healing. Don't overdo it. Okay. Um, but yeah, this eclipse is helping you identify what that is. And last but not least, we have Aquarius. What is this energy bringing for the Aquarius, please? Eclipse energy for the Aquarius. Oh, sorry. I know these are loud. Okay. Aquarius. What is the message for the Aquarius? Yeah. Death process. Here's the death card. You're in it. This is changing your life. All right. At the end of this, you will be on another timeline. More than any of the signs that I've read for today, I can't emphasize that the most for the Aquarius. So, timeline shifting here. Okay, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual shifting, spiritual change. It's all happening, and it's a beautiful process. Accept it, love it. Again, it's not about the destination, it is about the process. As you go through this moment, realize how powerful you are. Realize that at the end of the day, you're the change maker here. You were done with a certain way of life, a certain way of being, a certain way of living, and you're fed up with it. And you woke up one day and it's just like, I'm never going to feel like that again, right? Like, this is it. And you have dedicated yourself to this change process. This eclipse is coming through, reinforcing it, blessing this whole process, telling you that the universe has your back. The universe is supporting you at this time. And don't be scared. Don't be fearful. Stay strong. Stay in your power. You know that this is happening for a reason. You wanted this to happen. You will get to the other side. And when you get to the other side, you're going to see the new path that you are on. All right. But change and transformation for ascension, for wisdom, for experience, for knowledge, to be in another place in time, and all for the best, because it's going to be in more alignment with who you are. And at the end of the day, it is part of your soul journey to go through this moment at this time. All right. Thank you so much for your time and energy today. I hope this was able to help somebody. I hope everything works out for you. Please click the little like button if you got anything out of today's reading. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Check out or keep a lookout for more of my content. I just do tarot readings for the zodiac signs. If you want a personal reading, reach out. My email address is in the description of the video. Take it easy on yourself. Love yourself. Be gentle with yourself during this time. It's a beautiful time to be alive. At the end of the day, find something to be grateful for, right? Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.